All right, update. Monday morning. Happy Labor Day. This is 922 millibars, so the internal pressure is up. Central pressure is up. That means that the hurricane is weakening. And it is now back down to a category 4. Winds are down to, let's see, I think they were under 150. I don't know, they're still 155. Still pretty strong. But it is weakening as of that. And the reason why it's weakening is because it's stalled. It's down to 1 mile. It hasn't stalled exactly. It's down to 1 mile per hour. Forward movement is stopped. So it's irrelevant at this point. It is beginning to turn. That's the reason why. Sorry, I'm not wearing a shirt. I'm still on vacation. The storm is beginning its turn, and it's because of these high pressure systems in play. You can see right here the high pressure ridge is cut up in the middle here, and we have this pushing down as well. So it stopped the storm's forward progress, and as you can tell, it's going to find its way, just like he's directing, into that high pressure area, or I should say lack of high pressure area. So it's going to find that little path. It's just going to take time, but that's the update as of now. Alright, so we finally got our first rain band, I guess you want to call it. It's coming through, and you know, this is very, very mild. I mean, if you didn't know there was a hurricane out there, you would just be like, oh, it's just a little rainy. It's not even raining that bad. It's like a very, very light rain that's accompanied with some breeze. So this is kind of exactly what I'm expecting it to kind of go for the rest of the duration of this event, maybe 2 days. So I think that you know, storms like these can obviously generate a lot of weird situations, tornadoes and individual events that happen inside the storm, but for the most part, you know, hurricanes are fairly, I want to say this loosely, hurricanes are fairly predictable for what you can expect to experience within them. This is not by any means the extent of the hurricane, but it is part of the system. So this is a typical result for the outside edges of a hurricane. Nothing really at all to speak of. Figured I'd show you. The Bahamas did and are still getting battered. Feel really bad for those people, and I hope that they're able to recover from it, because it's rough over there. There's the turn. West-northwest, 1 mile per hour. It has happened. So we're turning now. Time to go north. I think this is going to be one of the last updates, because this storm is pretty much out of here now. It's down to a category 2, weakening, starting to move north now. So we're done with the hurricane. The Bahamas, I feel for you guys. They got rocked. So if you guys have any way of helping them, definitely put in. I have a couple of friends that live over there, or have lived over there, and it's unbelievable how much damage nature can do. So the hurricane sat on top of Grand Bahama Island for 36 hours or something like that. It's insane, and it was a category 5 basically the whole time. So unbelievable wind damage. Storm surge was over 20 feet. Houses, 2-story houses underwater. Incredible. So my heart goes out to them. Luckily nothing happened here, and that's gonna be the end of that. Tried to do a live stream yesterday. If you guys didn't see it, we had some audio problems, but we will start to do a more consistent live stream. I want to do something every once in a while with Shaw and the guys. So stay tuned for that. I might try and do something today. My dog wants to go outside. What do you want? What do you want? Came by the shop just to check up on things. Been coming by every day and just kind of looking around. Spent a little time here. There's actually a couple shops open and nothing to clean up. It's pretty clean. Just a little bit of rain as expected. But check out this packing job the guys did. They really kept things safe and sound in here. So you can see the Renly is pretty close to the toolbox. Got the scooters all packed in. RX-7's nicely tucked away. And over there we got Dusty and Friends. Dusty and Friends are all hanging out. The Copart Razor is right here, still waiting on the parts. I think the delivery got delayed by the storm a little bit, but that's not a big deal. But now's a chance to see, we got another FD. So if you haven't seen this one yet, I haven't either, to be honest with you. It's got, looks like some kind of body kit on it. Not sure what that is, but you know, carbon fiber hood. Been painted, of course. Locked. Dang. We'll do a tour of this car another day. But you can see it's got some goodies. Love me some FDs, you guys know that. But anyway, everything's safe and sound here in the shop. I'm gonna hang out for a little while. We got some parts from Australia. We'll update. This will be going on to Dusty soon. So Dusty got a trigger kit. This is the Ross trigger kit that's going to be going on there. It's the same trigger kit that you saw on the R33 with the sequential PPG. We liked it so much. The ignition gets so unstable with the stock cam angle sensor, especially when you start to push a lot of power. Because what's happening is you're getting quite a bit of difference in timing from where the sensor is reading and at the actual crankshaft. So the reason that happens is because when you start to push a lot more power, the timing belt will actually start to flex. And then you multiply that with the RPM and you end up with a very unstable, low resolution setup. So to get rid of all that, we have the Ross trigger kit, which is going to replace the harmonic balancer with a ring trigger and its own sensor at the crank. And then we maintain the position sensor on the camshaft. Comes with a new one, really nice. And the difference between the two can be calculated and then you can compensate for it. It's a much finer and much more accurate way to determine ignition timing. So we'll be running that, and since we have the Haltech, we're able to do that. So if you have a Haltech and you've got an RB26, consider it, especially if you start to make power and especially if you start to rev it pretty high. So stay tuned for that one. We'll be doing that soon. Gonna dab in a little bit of RC content here while we're here. You guys asked for a boat. I have a boat. I have a few boats. This is one of them. I'll show you the other one when I get back to the house. But this is a really special boat. This is a Super Gator. It's actually a boat that was hand built here in Florida and Lake Placid. Used to be a company called Enforcer, and they made these boats. So it has, as you can see, a little two-stroke engine in it, a little weed whacker engine, but it's pretty punchy and it works really well. It has it's an inboard obviously, and it has a drive right here. And you can see, nice size prop. Real heavy duty hardware, again built here in Florida. It's a cool boat. So we'll get this out. It's a pretty big boat too, as you can see. It's not a very small boat. It's probably about, oh, I don't know, 50 inches or so almost. It's a nice size boat. So we'll get this thing out. There are videos of it running on my channel if you go back and look. But everyone is asking, how come you don't have a boat? I have boats. Come on. You know me. I'm not going to let you down. And then while I'm here too, I can show you guys another one of my cars. This is my Jado. Some of y'all were saying something about having Jados. Well, here you go. This is a special Jado. It is an extended chassis. This is a one-off build that a buddy of mine did for me a while back. Completely custom made, one-off chassis Jado, and it's set up for drag racing clearly. I've locked the diff, got a wheelie bar on the back, and you can see it extends the chassis, uses all the factory Jado stuff. So the extension is really in this area right here. Still uses all of the same stuff here. I got rid of the electric start, so it's only a pull start now, but it does the job. Hasn't run in a while, but she's good. When you put these motors away, as long as you clean out all of the methanol, all of that nitro, then you end up with you know, a good motor. It'll last for a while. I usually use WD-40 to store them, but this thing's fast. This thing did, I think it was 2.1 or 2.2 in the 132 foot, and that was a regular concrete surface, nothing crazy. So I think that if I could get this thing to hook a little better, it might actually go down into dip into the 2.0s. I'd love to see 1s, but I don't think it's realistic, especially with a stock 3.3. Either way, another cool Traxxas car. Boy, I love me some Traxxas. Here's the drag timing system. I still have it in a box. It's a really cool system, the DTS1. I haven't used it in a long time though, so I don't even know if it still works, but God, when did I buy this? Holy moly, I've had it for a while. Really cool. It kind of went with the whole Traxxas Dragster setup, and let me see what's going on here. There it is. So it's still in one piece. I'm gonna have to get it all out, freshen it up. It uses little lasers to actually measure. And you set up a trap, a speed trap down the way, and it uses lasers. So it's an actual real timing system. It's not a GPS or calculated or anything like that. It's a real timing system. It gives you real accurate speed, and it actually does time point A to point B. So if you set it up accurately at 132 feet, you've got a 10th scale quarter mile. You can also set it up for 1/8 mile and anything else you want to do. I actually used it to measure scooter speed, in fact. I was doing scooter races with the scooters, and I was measuring the drag speed on those too. So you can go and check out that stuff in some of my older videos. I might get this thing going again so that I can do some more timing with it, because why not? I've had it this long. Hopefully it still works. Alright, I'm back at the house. I flipped on the old TV just to see what they were saying now. I mean, they're kind of beating a dead horse at this point. Well, I'm going to say a dead horse, but as far as this area is concerned, they're showing, obviously, 110 mile per hour, still Cat 2, but I want to wait for a second to show you where they've got Jim Cantore. So they've got Jim over here standing on the seawall because it looks so majestic and powerful. But these guys over here are just standing there, and they're just watching. There's dudes over there just standing there. They pop up every once in a while on camera, and they are just standing there with their t-shirt, and Jim is over here basically swimming. I mean, I gotta give him props. That's definitely not a very nice spot to stand, but it's probably the worst place he could possibly find in the entire area. So this is not what's happening over here. This is, by the way, that's 25 minutes away from me. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. Okay? This is what's happening. There you go. So, I know, closer to the water, definitely more action, but the way they portray it is out of control. And that is an example of hyping, overhyping a situation. It's cool. Show that stuff. But explain that that's not what the rest of the freaking place is seeing. Just want to say that. The Bahamas saw real damage. What he's sitting there with is just a very closed area where the wind is whipping against the seawall and waves are splashing over him.